Four tires screeched as they came to a halt at the bottom of the hill. The smell of burning rubber and sweaty boys orbited my friends and I wherever we traveled on our bikes. The summer sun beat on our backs as we climbed up the biggest hills we could find in order to come racing down. The roads were filled with tire marks from our bikes as we competed to see who could perform the longest skid. As the time passed, our speeds increased and the skids got longer, until one of us took a fall. Despite the helmets, the friend who took a fall would usually end up with scratches and cuts down their body, marking the end of the day. The sun would set and we would return to our homes only to come back the next day.
So he says, my wife's a pain in the ass. She's always busting my friggin' agates. My daughter's married to a jadrul loser bastard. I got a rash so bad on my ass, I can't even sit down. You know me, I can't complain.
Oh, fucking A, man. I got a rash, man. Fucking A. I gotta tell you, Tone, man. Earlier today, I was really feeling shitty, man. Really down in the dumps. Lost a little money.
Hey, you know what? Forget about it, huh? Forget about it.
Yeah, fuck it, man. Can't be worried about that shit. Life goes on, man.
Home sweet home, Mr. L.
A cold blast of wind pierced my unshaven face as I stepped out of the crowded hut, escaping the fetid odors of malfunctioning toilets and sweat. In the crisp air, I quickly forgot my fruitless attempts for rest that night and gazed at the sun's orange and pink rays dancing between the pointed peaks of the Italian snowy Alps. However, this peaceful moment did not last long as my group scampered to avoid the traffic of other hikers. Looking up, I could see an ominous white barricade in the sky 100 meters ahead, a thick layer of clouds preventing any visibility. Each step took us closer to the wall until, all of a sudden, snow began to hit my face and I was engulfed with a chilling blanket. As the first hour of the numbing uphill passed, I slipped into my own solitary world. My steps sync with the song of These Boots Are Made for Walking by Nancy Sinatra, which I repeated in my head to dull the discomfort of the cold, altitude, and fatigue. 8 hours into the journey, we finally broke through the cloud layer and into the open air. The picturesque view of the Matterhorn relieved my aches and filled my eyes with tears of joy as we took the last steps into the hut. I set my backpack on the ground and relaxed into one of the benches, feeling full of a sense of accomplishment and humbleness. As I stretched out my body, the stresses built up during the day dispersed, and I felt rejuvenated by the sun's rays. The tribulations from the unrelenting terrain and unwavering assault from Mother Nature were only a temporary tax on my body, and ultimately overcome by the joy of championship and triumph. Our lives outside breeded our love for adventure, sport, and activity. Although my neighborhood friends have all moved away, the impacts of our childhood linger. We have become outdoor enthusiasts and dedicated in a sport of some kind. The habits of our youth have stayed with us longer than we could stay with each other.